Hi everybody, this is Cynthia Readings, and this reading today is going to be about the solar eclipse happening on the 25th of October in the sign of Scorpio. Now, before I pull cards for you, I want to give you some information on this, okay? So this is okay. First of all, eclipses are, it's like they push us forward, and it is a time for change, and it's time for radical change, okay? Now, there is a solar eclipse on October 25th, and then a lunar eclipse on November 8th, 7th, I believe, okay? So yeah, so this is happening in Scorpio at 2 degrees, and this is very, like, it is conjuncting Venus, okay? I believe all of them are at 2 degrees at this time, but there are other squares happening too. I believe Mercury is close to them as well. Mercury is in the sign of Libra right now at 22 degrees, or sorry, at that time when solar eclipse is going to happen. Now, the moon is in square with Pluto, and we also have Mercury squaring Pluto in Capricorn. So this is a time where it's all about changes. It is really about where we need to make changes. And by the way, for you, especially if it depends where are your placements. Now, if you have Scorpio and Taurus placements, I would really suggest that you have a look at, your birth chart if you can. Even if you don't, let me just tell you that this is going to be impacting you the most. For Taurus placements, let me just say that it's going to impact more so like your physical, because Taurus is a fixed earth sign. And for Scorpio, it's more so like a self, especially if you're a Scorpio rising. It's even a Scorpio sun, it's more so like a self, okay? The changes that you need to make within yourself, okay? On emotional level. So this is also a time where there will be changes in money, in currency, okay? So as we all know what's happening in the world, okay? So if I look at it, in a broader like picture, that is where it's going to be impacting us the most. But I feel like even, as a collective, this is giving us a push forward to make changes in our lives. Now, this is again a time to step outside your comfort zone, okay? This is a time that you're ready to change. This is a time where some of you also need to challenge yourself, okay? Because, we know emotionally and, even physically the changes that we need to make, but sometimes we are in our comfort zone. Another thing I would touch is that this, solar eclipse is really about stepping outside your comfort zone and manifesting correctly. Because at this time, I feel like, especially with that Pluto squaring moon and then squaring Mercury, there can be, difficult conversations. There can be things, that we feel coming to the surface, but it's all about stuff that we need to change, having to learn the lessons the hard way and then moving forward. Okay, and, another thing I'm kind of getting here is that a lot of us are being pushed to make positive changes in our lives, okay? So if there's something recently negative that you went through, it's time that you learn your lesson and push yourself forward. Again, this is all about pushing ourselves forward, okay? Now, this is also going to be impacting us for almost the next 6 months. So this is not just our regular new moon and full moon stuff. This is like something very significant, and I believe last time it happened with Taurus and Scorpio axis, it was back in, I don't know, like 2012, 2014, and then back in 2003 and 2004. So if you remember what happened in your life at that time, good for you. I don't remember. I was a kid back then, okay? I am only like 23 years old right now, so I was in school back then, okay? All right, so let's see. So this Scorpio, solar eclipse is encouraging us to make the changes that are required for us to make important for our soul's growth, okay? And this is also important that we, it's also important that we pay attention to our behavior, self-sabotage, being lazy, procrastinating, or having plans and, purposely self-sabotaging yourself and your plans. This is about empowering yourself, okay? Now, of course, I'm going to go through all signs, but I'm going to give you a brief introduction before I move on to your sign, okay? Okay, now one more thing I'm getting here is that if you and somebody, you guys don't share the same values, if you guys are not on the same page, this is a time to understand where that person may be coming from, and if the vibe doesn't match, you need to let go of that person, okay? This is not a time to force things with other people, especially, okay? This is really about the depth, with the Scorpio. It's about intensity. It's about a call for change, okay? So Scorpio makes it all very intense and, adds depth to this. Now, this is also a time that we must release fear. We must release guilt and confront, okay? Sometimes we may not need to confront other people. We need to confront what we've been doing. We need to have a look at the mirror and really see what we have been doing, okay? So this is a time for you to have that, have a real heavy look at yourself with what you've been doing, where you want to be. Because again, like I said, the changes you're making now, they're going to be impacting you for the next 6 months, okay? Now, another thing I'm getting here is that this is about your shared resources. This is about money. This is about, like positive changes. So when you make positive changes within yourself, of course, they manifest in your life too, but this is something about money, luxury, things like that as well, with Venus being there, okay? Now, it all depends on your sign and where it's happening in which house and stuff, so I'm gonna get to that later on. But mainly, this is a solar eclipse that is helping us to strengthen even our intimate relationships, letting go of negative attachments. Like I said, what makes us truly happy, what makes us more fulfilled, okay? Now, this is also a time period to push forward towards new things, towards, finding new ways, and, letting go of the old. So it's pretty much out with the old, in with the new, okay? And also having a look at our addictions, okay? What have we been addicted to? What have, we been lingering on to, okay? So there's going to be new and potent energy. So I want you guys to pay attention to what you've been wanting to manifest, and of course check out your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture. I would suggest that you watch all 3 signs and then combine and get the message, but if you just want to watch one sign, then I would say watch your rising sign, okay? So to sum it up, this is all about, fresh start. This is about bringing that balance in our relationships, letting go of people who no longer serve us, letting go of codependency issues or just negative attachments, and having to let ourselves, get through that fresh start. So that is all that I have for you guys as an overall view for what's going to be happening for the solar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio. Do give this video a like if you enjoyed this. And now let's move on to your sign. Hi Libra, let's have a look at how the solar eclipse is going to be impacting you. This is happening in your 2nd house. Now that is a treat, isn't it? There could be a significant change in your money, in, I don't know, like your accumulated wealth. Maybe a new project comes up and you're like, oh, I'm excited to take it. So great. And then we have Venus, of course, conjuncting the solar eclipse. And as we all know, Libra, Venus is linked to you, okay? So again, some of you may be very focused on your looks as well, and how you're looking and how you're going about things, how you're presenting yourself. There's a focus on that. But of course, I'm going to pick cards for you first. Let me tell you where it is impacting you. Now, I see a lot of you making important decisions related to your personal finances, your business, being very practical with your approach. And again, the decisions that you're making are very, very important, okay? And they are, very much linked with your finances, okay? And your accumulated wealth. This is also a very important time that you pay attention to your goals, your money goals. Are they realistic enough? Are you being hard on yourself, or what strategies in money didn't work for you in the past and how you can change that to make things better for yourself. This is all about new beginnings and improvements and the changes that you need to make in the area of your personal finances. Okay, so you I feel like you're also going to be feeling very grounded, or a need to be more grounded. Okay, perhaps. And again, Venus is linked to Taurus as well, and this solar eclipse is impacting Taurus Scorpio placements the most. And Venus is, you know, linked to you as well. So again, some of you, I'm kind of getting an energy here that when it comes to people you surround yourself with, Libra, you really strive for respect. You want to be respected, you know, you don't want to be taken for granted, things like that. And that also comes in your romantic relationships, okay? Now that Venus alignment there with the, you know, solar eclipse, the conjunction there, it can be talking about relationships. It can be talking about our negotiations. It can be talking about our comfort level, okay? Now you have a chance to make changes and improve in these areas of your life, okay? So, and again, whatever changes you make, they're going to boost your financial well-being depending on what decisions you're making. Of course, if we make poor decisions, they're never going to help us. So again, the decisions you make, taking accountability, having a look at what worked for you in the past and what didn't, okay? Now, to sum it up, it is going to be impacting your house of relationship. Why am I saying it? Your income, your accumulated wealth, okay? The desire to purchase. Like some of you may be into purchasing a new car, a new home, or luxury and things like that. Some of you are maybe shopping these days, or you're looking at things online and you're like, I'm going to look good in this, I'm going to look good in that. There's also a focus on like the outer, you know, appearance, which of course, Libra and aesthetics go hand in hand. Very, very strong, attractive energy. So, you know, you're like an attraction magnet at this time. You know, you're attracting people towards you, and, you know, it also has a lot to do with your looks, okay? So, all right, so let's see. What do we have for Libra, please? So first card out is protection, which is Moon and Aries energy. I see a lot of you becoming possessive about things, about people you love, about your emotions. You're like, you may be feeling like, okay, this is what I'm feeling and this is what I'm feeling, okay? So again, I feel like a lot of you are protective by nature. Some of you could have a child that you're focused on, or it's like I feel like, you know, taking the lead kind of an energy that I'm getting from you. So again, 4th house energy, Sun in the 4th house, Cancer, Aries energies here so far. Some of you are thinking about moving or changing your home. Maybe there's a lot of Aries energy, so some of you may have Aries in your chart. And I believe Aries is the opposite sign to Libra, if I'm not mistaken. So look at where your North Node is. Maybe some of you need to embody these energies where you need to be more, how do I say, you need to be able to take the lead, okay? There's something within you, okay, that's changing, you know. It's almost like a personality change that you're going through. And I feel like it's positive, okay? Then you have the card of patience. So be patient, especially with the decisions that you're making. Some of you maybe need to change your routine. And there's also something here in this reading about 1111, Libra. So let's see, what more do we have for you? What do we have for Libra, please? We have drama. Somebody could come in your life and, you know, things may get a little bit stirred up. But again, you know, this is like, somebody may come in and, like I said, they may stir things up, and it's going to be a test of your patience in the face of annoyance, okay, from somebody. So be mindful of that. Let's see, what more do we have for Libra, please? And Libra, of course, you can have a look at your reading like in depth, that is also up on my channel, and your person's reading up on my Vimeo page. You can have a look. Let's see, what do we have for Libra? Please show me messages that Libra needs to see right now. We have wisdom, very important energy. You know, being wise, learning from the past. And this is also about freeing yourself from some sort of confusion, just because it's sometimes you're caught up in things that are not even productive, and this is one of those energies. It's also about opening your heart space, making wise decisions. This is not a time to act childish. Not saying that you act childish. But Libras are fun-loving, you know. Self-worth, again, rediscovering your self-worth. I'm really getting that some of you lost yourself in somebody or in something. And it is important that you find yourself back again if you did so. And again, you know, it's also important here, Libra. Are you really linking your self-worth to material things or your achievements? If that is the case, then that isn't sustainable. When we don't have those things, then we don't feel good enough. So have a look at where you're linking your self-worth. Is it to a person or material things? Because I do feel like there's a focus on material things, not necessarily that you're linking your self-worth to it, but sometimes we are hard on ourselves because we're like, okay, only if I make this amount of money, or only if I have this car, that thing, this thing, then I am good enough, or whatever. And again, a major part of this, you know, is linked to social media and stuff like that. Stuff that we do to show on social media. Not saying that you're doing that, but again, having a look at your values, why you're wanting what you're wanting, because again, the focus is on your accumulated wealth and money situation, you know, your house of finances. So that's it, Libra. That's all that I got for you. And yeah, do give this video a like, and see you next time.